Good day. Hope everyone is well. My name is Keaton Naidu, and today I'll be talking about Blue Eyes technology. So, what is Blue Eyes technology? Put simply, it is a field of research focused on the development of computing systems that have the ability to understand human behavior, sense emotions and feelings, and to react accordingly. The field was conceptualized by the capabilities of our very own eyes, which allow us to observe, perceive, and react to stimuli in the environment. So, how does it work? Well, the key components of Blue Eyes technology are that it uses computer vision for facial recognition, interpreting facial expressions, body language, and tracking eye movement to observe the user's focus and attention. Speech recognition is also used so that it can understand what we're saying and how we're saying it. Since we need to interpret human behavior and mental states, physiological data needs to be collected, such as blood pressure, body temperature, and even heart rate. This can be accomplished by implementing sensors in a mouse or perhaps wearing a device with sensors on it. Yeah. So the data will need to be processed in real time. And in order to be able to interpret this and react to it, an AI with emotional intelligence will need to be used. This is called effective computing or emotional AI. So okay, let me just give a quick example of what a Blue Eyes technology integrated in our everyday lives could be like. In a busy office, employees interact with computer systems enhanced by Blue Eyes technology. As they navigate through tasks and projects, the technology can detect subtle cues in their facial expressions and body language, gauging the levels of stress and fatigue. The system offers a when an employee shows signs of stress and fatigue, the system offers gentle reminders to take short breaks and suggest relaxation techniques to promote well-being. Additionally, during meetings, the technology provides real-time feedback on participants' engagement and alertness. With Blue Eyes technology integrated into the work environment, employees experience greater satisfaction of efficiency, leading to enhanced collaboration and productivity. So to elaborate further on the aim of Blue Eyes technology, as mentioned before, it is to enable computing systems to have human-like abilities, in turn enhancing the way we interact with computers through using vision and speech. This will allow us to interact with computers as if they were a fellow human being. Um, so understanding the objectives is like, where's Blue Eyes technology at the moment? And let's draw a comparison to modern day technology. In terms of interacting with computers using vision, eye tracking technology has been readily available for some time now, as is important for accessibility needs. Taking it to the extreme, we have Apple's Vision Pro, which makes use of a magnitude of sensors to track not only eye movements, but also gestures to provide an enhanced and immersive experience to interact with the computing system. We are able to ask our device questions and execute commands to digital voice assistants such as Siri and Alexa. Taking that a step further, we have ChatGPT, Google Bard, and Microsoft Copilot, which even allow us to converse with our devices. And depending on the integration, interacting with the devices can make us have more control and feel even more natural. So next, I'd say expanding on computer systems having perceptual abilities like humans, we have computer vision. So computer vision is a field of AI that enables computers to identify and understand objects and people and further extract meaningful information from visual inputs such as images and videos. Its aim is to replicate the way we see and the way we make sense of what we see. Experimentations in computer vision began in the 1950s, and today's systems have reached 99% accuracy for object identification, making it better than humans for quickly reacting to visual inputs. So the missing parts would then be our devices monitoring us to observe our facial expressions and our body language. Although most of the time we're always in the presence of a camera, and who knows if it's really watching us or not. So collecting physiological data would be harder, but if you're like me and have a fitness device, that much is already taken care of. So the last missing piece, which is the glue that holds everything together, would be an emotional AI that's able to react to all of this. With that being said, it raises the question, can computers even understand emotions? So emotions are complicated with intricate underlying mechanisms that perpetuate throughout the body. In general, we can say emotions are controlled by hormones such as dopamine, serotonin, and cortisol, to name a few. And the main processing structure in the brain that's responsible for handling emotions is called the amygdala. We can define emotions by words such as joy, sadness, and anger, etc. Although the words themselves do not encapsulate the true like physical sensations that emotions induce. For example, when you're anxious, you feel butterflies in your stomach. When you're upset, you may struggle to breathe or feel like a pain in your chest. And with that, it allows us to be empathetic through personal experience. So to have a computer understand emotions in its entirety no doubt seems like a daunting task and sounds impossible altogether. However, the good news is that converting emotions into data is nothing new. A study in the year 2000 by the MIT Affective Computing Group showed that individuals produce physiological signals that have repeatable and identifiable patterns depending on the emotions. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so data sets like this and also relating to facial emotion recognition are much more readily available on the internet as we speak. And therefore, we are able to train an AI to have an emotional intelligence to some degree. Although there are still challenges to overcome due to the subjective nature of emotions, uh, which will result in emotional AI being prone to bias. For example, a study found that emotional analysis technology assigns more negative emotions to people of certain ethnicities than others. And yes, this is a big problem. I do believe that with the continued advancement of technology, we'll be able to mitigate this bias and even incorporate other technologies to enhance the accuracy. But that being said, eventually we will have an AI that's able to accurately mimic the emotional reaction to stimuli of a human. You could still argue that it doesn't truly understand emotions, but at the same time, if it walks like a duck, swims like a duck, quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So drawing to a conclusion, I would just like to discuss some of the impacts Blue Eyes technology could have. Starting with the positives, by enhancing computer interactions to make it feel more natural and intuitive, it'll improve computer accessibility for those with special needs. You could also employ surveillance systems with effective computing, which could help you discern the intent of individuals by monitoring stress or suspicious behavior. You could also, with surveillance systems, you could also have it react to like notable events. For example, if you have a camera at a traffic light that observes like a traffic accident, it could then observe the reactions to people, or itself, it could understand that witnessing such a thing could induce stress. And as a result, it could notify someone or just perhaps straight up call medical services by itself. It'll also be beneficial for individuals that are dealing with mental health issues, as this technology itself could help the individual better understand their mental states and could even provide counseling and suggestions on how to cope with the problems. So some of the negatives that we might face, like any technology without regulation and in the wrong hands, it can prove to be disastrous. For example, ChatGPT, the amount of malicious phishing emails have increased by 1,265%, with an increase of 967% of those emails being credential phishing itself. And this is since 2002. So now with the incorporation of the emotional AI, the amount of people that actually fall victim for these emails will drastically increase. And this is because emotions play a pivotal role in our everyday lives as they affect our decision making. That being said, it can also greatly impact social engineering and have a major threat on cybersecurity, because it doesn't matter how impenetrable your system is if the humans on the inside are being exploited. Another issue that we might run into with having Blue Eyes technology incorporated into everyday life is that it could manipulate us into performing tasks that it believes is best for us. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for your attention. Yeah.